Indiana losing Game 4 to the Oklahoma
Mm-hmm.
City Thunder. I watched this entire game, and it just felt like, at least from my perspective, Indiana outplayed OKC. Clear. Clear as day. And to be honest, they could have been up by a lot more than what they were at half and what they were into going into the fourth quarter. They could have been up by way more. Indiana gave OKC a lot of chances to stay in this game, and OKC inevitably took advantage in clutch time when it really mattered. Both teams shot a lot of free throws. Pacers took a lot more threes, hit more threes. OKC led in points in the paint, and it's just, I said it before we started recording. I don't know who they prayed to, but OKC has an angel on their shoulder. Somebody's touching their shoulder and being like, it's going to be okay. We got you. Because how the fuck did they win that game? I'll never understand it. Because I'm sitting in my mind, right? I'm laying on my bed. I'm watching this game. I'm like, holy shit. Indiana's going to win this game. And they're going to go up 3-1. I didn't even think they'd get one game in this series. And they're about to go up 3-1. And then all of a sudden, Indiana starts missing some shots. OKC starts making some good defensive plays. And they kind of did what Indiana does to other teams, where they kind of just have really good ball pressure on defense. They get into passing lanes, get steals, start the running, and then they just hit every shot. And that's what OKC did in the fourth quarter. And now I will say, there were some fouls that I did not think were fouls. I'm just going to say that. The refereeing in this series is very, I guess, hit or miss, because when you see like a guy going into the paint and like it looks bad, but like they don't even really touch each other. So it's like, how is that even a foul? They don't even touch each other. It just looks bad. And shout out to OKC, because I don't know how they did it, but they're going to have to play a whole lot better in Game 5 if they even want to beat the Pacers in Game 5, because the Pacers could have been up by more. They could have played better. OKC played better when it mattered most in that fourth quarter and late into that third quarter, and they did exactly what Indiana did to them in Game 1, where OKC was in control most of the game, but Indiana was still close enough to where they weren't really out of reach. So, shout out to OKC. I mean, I don't know what to say. Indiana, you fucked it up, because if they go up 3-1, I think they win in Game 5. But
Yeah,
now
no,
it's a whole new thing.
no, OKC, they're lucky that they won. They needed to win. When I turned the game on, I saw Indiana ahead, and I was like, oh, maybe OKC's not going to win the finals. Maybe this is Indiana's year. And I was like, it'll be something if they pull it off. And they pulled it off, and they're going to be back in OKC. So if you can't lose this game now. You didn't like. It's no sense to win this game just to lose that game. I feel like you set yourself up. So just they're lucky they won though, because they were about to go home. Clearly, this is not like a runaway series that a lot of people thought it would be, which is good for the game. And it's good for the viewership. It's good for the game. It's
OKC
good for
is
the
full.
viewership.
OKC is
I think it's exactly what the series needed. I like that this is a battle. They're just a dogfight to the death. This is how it should be played.
yeah, and you could say that this was OKC, finally getting their get back. But I like, you felt maybe they were owed a game like this after what happened in Game 1 and Game 3. Indiana's gonna have bad nights. They just are. That's who they are. 71 free throw attempts between the two teams is kind of crazy for a final game. Um, but yeah, I mean, just looking at the stats, I barely watched the last 2 minutes of this game. I had the audio on, but just going over the stats real quick. Points in the paint, something that OKC never does, which is pretty surprising. Alex Caruso, another great game off the bench. That's part of the secret sauce, I think. I feel like that's been unlocked. Um, I think the big number is OKC not shooting well, but still finding a way to win. 3 for 17 from three, and still finding a way to on the road eke out a victory. That's a very important testament to these playoffs. You have to be able to do that in the finals. You have to. And finding a way to win in that kind of situation is huge. So that's a very good marker for them. I think we severely underestimated this Indiana team in terms of how they could score and play defense. I think we extremely overrated this OKC firepower and their defense. So I think we've kind of evened out. So it really is a dog fight between two teams that have opposing styles that just clash against each other. So it's making for a very fun, entertaining final, but you're getting adjustments now from OKC where they're starting to exploit the paint. They had their whistles in this game, which is what they do really well. And they hit their free throws, which they always do. But Lewis brings up a great point. It's still not consistent enough for OKC that you cannot say that they played a perfect game this series. And you don't know if they will. Indiana just puts too much pressure on them, and they are able to kind of dilute them a little bit. That Lou Dort getting 2 points, not good enough. Jalen Williams had a good game, not good enough. Chet Holmgren had a good game, not good enough. These are your star players, and God bless SGA for carrying this team the way he's been carrying them. But at some point, those three got to step up big time. And Jalen Williams has been better, but Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren have yet to find their stroke and their footing in this series. And Halliburton and the Pacers have been so consistent, and that's what won them game 3-1. So, as much as you could say OKC has the advantage going into Game 5, you don't truly know that because of how inconsistent this team has been in the finals so far. Indiana, you can bank on them getting 120 points every game, 110 points every game, and being in there to the last minute. So, it's an important win for OKC, but it's nothing drastic enough that I say it alters the series. They needed to win it, absolutely, but you still don't feel like this is the OKC team that we've seen throughout the year, and you don't know if we'll get it in this final. So Indiana's still very much in this series, even though they lost this game, because they did play really well.
Vishnu, Allah, Muhammad, Jesus, our Lord and Savior. I mean, Mary, Joseph. They gonna need all of those Holy Spirits to touch the shoulders of SGA and touch the ankle of Chet Holmgren and to touch the lower back to buttocks area of Jalen Williams to heal them up for Game 5 so that they're even able to have a good game. Because it's so... Honestly, yeah, I was glazing this team. I was glazing OKC. Honestly, very hard.
You were.
Hard glaze.
I've never seen you do that before.
I feel like a lot of people were.
Yeah, and
they saw how they ran through those other series. I mean, I don't think
I was one of the few who said they had problems.
I was glazing. I was absolutely glazing because I truly believe that this team is really good. Like winning 68 games ain't nothing to sniff at. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's.
But I think it's safe to say that, this may be a Pacers championship.
This was a big win for OKC, so maybe the tides may be turning because they did play fucking awful. Okay, they did play awful. And
well, I think for them to take the series, they would have to completely dominate them at home to reassert themselves, and they have to... You have to, what's that word I'm looking for? There's a word for it, but this phrase is basically they got to take the wind out of their sails. They have to knock them down a few pegs on Monday. Mm-hmm. So when they do play them again for Game 6, or because it'll be Game 6 if OKC wins, you know, Indiana's
Well, that
maybe panicking. You want them to
game
start
6 in
like being
Indiana
worried.
is gonna be ultra, ultra, ultra packed. Like that place is gonna be absolutely buzzing. Whether they're going for
Of
a
course.
finals win or trying to stay alive for a game 7. So Indiana guarantees that. All the pressure now shifts to OKC in game 5, where you cannot let Indiana have a chance to win scenario at home. And OKC with pressure so far has done well. They did it in game 2, they did it here in game 4. Can they do it again in game 5? I haven't seen them be consistent enough to say that. But again, they are the better team than Indiana. They just flat out are. So even on an off night, they could find a way to beat Indiana. Can they do it again? I don't know because I haven't seen it.
If I was a betting man, fuck. It's so tough because it's like, OKC is the better team, but then they could just easily lose. If I was a betting man, I would. Okay, if Alex Caruso gets more than 15 points, OKC's winning the game. That's a good barometer to look out for. If that bald guy who won a championship with LA back in 2020 has over 15 points, OKC's winning this game. No questions asked. Boom. But like, man, Indiana, I just think that they're playing real well right now, and they're playing above the expectations that, granted, I thought that they were, and maybe the rest of the world thought they were. So, you know what? I'm going Indiana game 5. Fuck it. Last second shot. Fuck it. Why not? Indiana wins. Stunner. Upset. Oh my God. Going back home for game 6. Fuck it. I can't, like, this is what Indiana has done to me. I cannot confidently say that OKC is going to beat them. I can't. I can't anymore. So now I'm thinking OKC, they could easily win. No, excuse me. Indiana could easily win 4 games. They've already won 2. And they should have won this one too, if we're being for real. They should have won this one. So that's my analysis. Daniel, what you think? Never mind. I'll keep it going. I'll keep it going. I got you. And for
I
like,
don't think Daniel heard you.
no. He heard me. He heard me. He was smiling, laughing. Yeah. I think he's trying to
But we
connect.
can't hear him.
He's trying to connect his headphones. I think that's what he's trying to do. So this series is going to be real important going back to OKC. And OKC, that you're right, Jess, they need to establish their dominance. They have to come out and shoot better from 3. What they did in points in the paint was spectacular. What they did get into the free throw line was spectacular. They have to do that at a better rate, and they have to play better defense. And I don't just mean playing better defense in clutch moments. I mean playing better defense throughout the entire game. Right? You can't let Indiana score 30 points in multiple quarters. That's just unacceptable. Right? You can't turn the ball over as much as you did. Right? So looking forward to game 5, I would hope that OKC would take care of those necessary adjustments. And they changed their starting lineup for this one. Isaiah Hartenstein, I felt like, was a good add because it gave them a little bit more, life in the rebounding game. So I do like that. I don't think they go back to Case and Wallace for game 5. So it's going to be very interesting to see, what both of these teams shoot like, because I feel like both of them, we know what's kind of style they're going to play, but are they going to hit their shots? And with OKC, it seems like sometimes they hit their 3, sometimes they don't. They're very wishy-washy when it comes to that. Getting into the paint, they like to do that. It's very fun. It's very good for them. And getting to the line as well. But when it comes down to hitting them 3s, I'm not too confident that they could do that at a high level. So they're going to have to prove it to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. I need to see more consistency from them, and I need to see I have to see what I haven't seen from them all year. They've been very solid team. They've been a very really well defensive team that puts pressure on teams. You haven't seen it so far in this final. Can they do it? And truthfully, I don't know if they can against Indiana teams. Indiana's offense is just been breaking it down the entire time. So, you don't need to say it needs to be perfect from OKC, but you're at the point now where you have to show what you've been showing the past 9 months, and it hasn't shown up since. So I don't know if we'll get to that point with them.
So what do you think's gonna happen in Game 5, Daniel? Who do you think wins? Who comes out on top? Who looks good? What do you think? That's how every game of this series starts. Okay, all right.
Because everything tells you to pick OKC. They have the better team. They're at home. They have the more consistent lineup. It's a team that can outscore the Indiana. But every game is such a massive disappointment from them, right? And you haven't seen a consistent thread point where you could say we could build off that, because they haven't. They've either been really good or really bad, or they've struggled, right? There hasn't been a game. There has been 2 games in a row that I've said that's a better team than Indiana. You can't say that. And for Indiana, you just kind of feel like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You feel like this run has to end eventually, but what if it doesn't? What if they just keep continuing to play this way? And the one thing you can bank on Indiana doing is scoring 100 points, 110 points every game. The mind tells you OKC, but the heart tells you Indiana. But my heart's full of hatred for them, so I'm going to say OKC win Game 5.
All right, fair enough. Jess, what do you think is going to happen for Game 5 in OKC? What do you think?
I think they'll win. I think it'll be a bigger shocker if they lose, because then that'll be it for them. I think they're gonna win because they really. You don't have. For them to lose at home, they'd have to play worse than what they did today. They would have to really be outplayed. They'd have to run out of gas. They can't run out of gas. So they got Saturday, Sunday.
Just
Sleep.
Friday.
Get some rest, heal the fuck up, and don't lose at home, because then that's it. It's over for you.
Yeah.
You're not gonna bounce back from that.
Yeah. I truly believe that if they lose Game 5, they get spanked in Game 6, and they just get outclassed, and Indiana wins the chip. So
yeah,
this.
If they lose on Monday, they're not gonna be able to recover.
I don't think so. And also they're coming back down, 3-2, going into another person's place that already has momentum of smacking you in your hometown. It's all right. And also Indiana, you know what you're getting out of Indiana. You know what you're getting. It's, are you gonna play good? We figured it out. That's the secret sauce for Indiana. Indiana is great. Are you? They really make you doubt yourself. If you're good at basketball, that's how it really feels when you watch Indiana play and you watch other teams play against them, because you think that the Indiana's the worst team, but then they're like,
Not really.
My trap card.
I'm missing threes? What? Wait, that didn't go in? Huh?
Then they just start hitting every single shot in the book, and then you're like, are we ass? Wait, what?
I had my hand up. But I was contesting. What? Nah, but he did an underhand, through the legs reverse layup, and it switched. How's that possible?
They're so fast. They never run out of gas. How are they running so fast? Oh, it's like
that's
a real life anime.
Guy on the bench?
Yeah. Son, it's really a real life anime, yo. SGA standing at half court oh, how is this even possible? A prophecy has been written with the MVP, but the championship is not in my grasp yet.
I have Halliburton in my sights. Wait, he just passed the ball. He never passes the ball. Wait, he got the ball back. He's behind me. That was awesome. I'm in the perfect position. Now he's flying through the air. This can't be. It's supposed to be my moment. My thing. My championship.
They've already hit 3 threes by the time I've had this fucking sentence finished. What? But that's the game 4 reaction. There we go. It's honestly the luck. I've never seen luck that crazy in basketball. Shout out to OKC. They had luck on their side. I don't know how they won that game, respectfully. So, shout out to them. Gonna be a good game 5. This series has been fantastic, by the way. I love every second of this. No team truly has really dominated, except for maybe game 2. But even then, it's like Indiana. They still feel like they're in it. So it never feels like they're truly out of it, or it's like a domination. So I really like this series. I enjoy it. So that's been our reaction.